Today, I'm starting a brand new Potato Masher series. If you don't know, the Potato Masher is a $375 PC custom built in 2014 and designed to compete with the PS4 for the rest of its life cycle. The goal is not to pick on consoles, but to show that PC gaming can be just as good or better for the same money. This new series is going to explore one of the supposed advantages of PC gaming, that you can go back to your older game library and enjoy last-gen games at great resolutions and frame rates without needing to pay another $60 for a remaster or updated version of the game. I'll be evaluating how good older games look on the Masher, then seeing if there's anything I can do to make them look better than they did originally. For some games, this will mean easy, accessible mods, and for other games, it will mean super sampling and adding features via the EVGA control panel. If there is a newer remaster already available for the game, I might compare the original PC version to the newer Xbox One or PS4 version. Steam, Origin, and GOG sales are awesome ways to pick up tons of great last-gen games for dirt cheap, so if you can enjoy them without needing to shell out for a new version, that's a great advantage for the Masher. Of course, multiplayer servers get shut down, older games might not work on newer hardware without a lot of work, and they might just look really bad. I'm here to find out what games are still good and what isn't worth the trouble in this new series I'm calling Potato Masher Remasters. As you can see, the first game I'm testing is Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. The Potato Masher project was started by the Casual Shenanigans Gaming Podcast, so go check us out using the link on screen. You can support the Potato Masher project and my channel by tossing me a few bucks on Patreon to help me test new games quicker and better. You can also see all Potato Masher reviews a few days early. Lastly, this video was recorded and uploaded at 60 FPS, so switch to that if your browser supports it. Let's get to it. Obviously, the upcoming Modern Warfare remaster is going to look better than the original. The addition of high-resolution textures, dynamic lighting, and detail improvements are probably going to look comparable to a newer Call of Duty game. Still, Modern Warfare was considered to be a very good-looking game in 2007, so how does it hold up today? I turned all the settings up to very high at 1080p and 60 FPS. The first things that stand out are the lighting and textures. We take for granted how good dynamic lighting is these days, and how much better it can make games look. Modern Warfare's lighting is flat and bland by comparison. Similarly, the textures are blocky and smeared at long distances due to the very low level of anisotropic filtering. The textures weren't very high resolution to start with, but that makes them look quite a bit worse. There aren't any credible mods that improve Modern Warfare's graphics, or at least any that I could find. I'm not a fan of most ENBs because I think they mangle the developer's intended art style and bump the sharpness and saturation up instead of fixing actual issues. So, this time I tried using the EVGA control panel to enhance the game's existing graphical features. I forced 16x anisotropic filtering, turned on quality ambient occlusion, and 16x QCS AA anti-aliasing. I also super sampled to 1440p. The resulting image was quite a bit cleaner and more grounded, although I did have a few frame rate drops on earlier missions with 16x anti-aliasing, so I dropped it to 8x for future ones. The ambient occlusion helps make up for the static lighting to a small degree, although it does leave some odd halo shadows around distant objects. The anisotropic filtering keeps textures sharper at greater distances, and the anti-aliasing improves the perceived model quality and polygon count of distant objects. Combined with the higher resolution, this results in more detail and less flickering and a smoother image. I couldn't do anything about the pop-in or low-resolution shadows, but this is a start. While none of these changes make Modern Warfare look like a 2016 game, it does look a bit better than it did at launch, especially since I would have played it at 720p on my PS3 9 years ago. So the looks are slightly improved, but how does it play? If you're young, or you just somehow missed Modern Warfare's campaign the first time around, I think it's one of the best first-person shooter campaigns that's ever been released. The pacing of every single mission is nigh impeccable, with tons of unique set pieces and a strong contrast between stealth and chaotic action. Every successive Call of Duty game has tried and failed to equal how masterful Modern Warfare was in 2007. The good news is, it's still that good. While voice acting and production quality have increased in the last decade, the campaign is still brilliant. It plays like a more modern game with snappy handling and intuitive controls. Other than some occasionally simplistic AI, nothing stood out as being especially dated in the 5 missions I played. The single player is still great and a must-play for first-person shooter fans. Modern Warfare's single-player campaign was amazing, but the multiplayer was genre-defining. Upgrade and unlock paths, kill streaks, perks, and slurs about your mother all hit the mainstream with this game. While the official servers went down a long time ago, the PC community is surprisingly well populated and still fun. There were dozens of packed servers available with a variety of maps and game modes. Punkbuster didn't work for me, but it never worked very well, so that's no big loss. While the internet is packed with stories about every server being full of hackers and aimbots, I didn't encounter anything bad in 7 multiplayer matches. That's not to say there aren't likely issues, because I only played 7, but the multiplayer is still very playable. The map designs are some of the best of any modern shooter, and the relative simplicity of the game modes means it's easy to pick up and enjoy. However, if you want modern matchmaking, you're out of luck. Also, everyone still playing the game these days have been playing it for a very long time, and they're going to kick your butt. I was a pretty good Modern Warfare player back in the day, but I was ripped to shreds every match. If you want to recapture the feeling of the first few years of the game, you're probably better off waiting for the remaster. If you've never played Modern Warfare's campaign, it's a must-try. The masher is capable of improving the original visuals slightly, and it ran without a hitch. The graphics are a little dated, but the game is very enjoyable and still looks good for what it is. If you want to give multiplayer a quick try to see the original maps or try out the original kill streaks and unlocks, but you're mostly interested in the campaign, then I would say the existing PC version is a great option. If you are more interested in spending hours with multiplayer and hopping on with all your friends, you'll probably want to wait until the remaster releases this fall. If you enjoyed this video, check out the original build video or any of the other Potato Masher videos linked on screen. You can also follow me on Twitter, check out the Casual Shenanigans Gaming Podcast, or support the project on Patreon. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.